But what if there was a way to stop hurricanes? Fox 26's Andrea Watkins will have that story coming up.
Keeping an eye on the Gulf during hurricane season.
Well, what would you say if someone told you they could stop a hurricane? Fox 26's Andrea Watkins talks with a Katy resident who says it can be done.
Hurricanes Katrina and Rita, $91 billion in damage, 2,000 lives lost. Who wouldn't want to prevent a recurrence, if we only could?
To me, anything that causes death that can be stopped and it's not approached is insanity.
Mike McFall, a freelance inventor with a variety of engineering and military experience behind him, believes hurricanes can be stopped. That's based on the fact that hurricanes weaken quickly over land or cold water.
So my idea was to find a way to cool off the water to knock down or stop a hurricane. My idea was to bubble air up from deep in the ocean to carry cold water up.
McFall's small prototype shows how air bubbles circulate the water, just like any aquarium pump. But to stop a hurricane, the air pumps need to be on a grand scale. A field of pipes full of holes laid at least 300 feet deep. The pipes are 500 miles long and 1 mile apart. And when a tropical storm is anticipated, air is pumped into the pipes. It escapes, creating those bubbles. Cold water from below mixes with the warm water at the surface, and sufficient cooling will starve a hurricane of its much-needed warm moisture.
If Houston gets hit, if a Category 5 walks right up the ship channel, there's no, you couldn't put a price on how much damage there would be.
Gene Haffel, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service, says McFall's idea has some merit.
Theoretically, it would do the job. I mean, it would cool the waters of the Gulf of Mexico and suppress hurricane activity. Logistically, I think it's an impossible task.
Haffel also cautions, though, that there are other factors causing hurricanes. The record-breaking organization of Umberto is a good, albeit unusual, example.
The intensification was probably the upper-level winds.
The marine life is another concern. Dr. Gilbert Rowe, a marine biologist at Texas A&M Galveston, has a big problem with the idea.
The bubbles alone would be an ecological, environmental problem.
Dr. Rowe says sound in the ocean stops when it hits gas, and this field of bubbles, thousands of square miles, would create an unprecedented communication dead zone in the Gulf.
I would fear that the fish, the dolphins, and everything else would just be completely freaked out.
But surprisingly, Dr. Rowe believes circulating Gulf waters some other way might be a good thing.
If you could upwell that nitrate up into the surface water, that water's cold, that would fertilize the surface water with nitrate, so you would actually be embellishing the food web.
Stirring the Gulf, stopping hurricanes, it might all sound crazy, but the government and academic world have been trying to for decades. Trouble is, even if scientists could weaken or steer a storm, they'd need some sort of legal protection from lawsuits. Invariably, someone would say, "You made that storm worse for me." Andrea Watkins, Fox 26 News.